morning, ladies and gentlemen, County Executive Latimer, Deputy County Executive Jenkins, Deputy Commissioner Rayner, Chief Maturo, and family and friends and distinguished guests watching online. I am Lieutenant Nicholas Alongi, Commanding Officer of the Westchester County Police Training Division. I'd like to welcome you to the graduation ceremony of the Westchester County Police Academy's 151st Basic Recruit Class. At this time, please join me in observing the national anthem performed by Police Officer Dennis Mancia of the Bedford Police Department. Present on.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order, on. Please join me in acknowledging the pipes and drums of the Police Emerald Society of Westchester for their performance under the leadership of Bandmaster Detective Lieutenant Christopher Hurl, retired, City of New Rochelle Police Department, Pipe Major Lieutenant Kevin Perry, New Rochelle Police Department, and Drum Major Detective Peter Farrell, Westchester County Department of Public Safety. Detail, post the colors.
God bless America! Final rolls! 1, 2.
Thank you, and please be seated. Will the following members of the 151st Basic Recruit Class stand and be recognized? Please hold your applause until I have finished announcing their names. Police Officer Annette LaFasse, New Rochelle Police Department. Police Officer Jared Gramble, New Rochelle Police Department. Police Officer Dennis Mancia, Bedford Police Department. Police Officer Brandon King, Hastings-on-Hudson Police Department. These police officers are currently serving or have served in the armed forces of the United States of America. Please join me in thanking these individuals for their service to our country. Please be seated. For those of you watching online who have served or are serving in the armed forces of the United States of America, we honor you and thank you for your service as well. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the many distinguished law enforcement and public officials who are watching today. I would also like to recognize and express our gratitude to the many instructors who contributed to the recruit program, as well as the various commissioners and chiefs in and around Westchester and Putnam counties who provided these instructors, especially in these trying and difficult times. Without their contributions to the program, we would not be standing here today. I would especially like to recognize the Academy staff, Sergeant Michael Brainkamp, Detective Anthony Del Priore, Detective Pete Farrell, Detective Mark Moskalik, P.O. Jason Payne, P.O. Michael Huffman, and P.O. Dave Hecker, and to our class counselors, P.O. Jeff Gibson from the Yonkers Police Department and Deputy Sheriff Michael Varley from the Putnam County Sheriff's Office. These individuals not only provided hundreds of hours of instruction, but they also had the responsibility of coordinating the entire recruit program. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to now introduce to you the Deputy Commissioner of the Westchester County Department of Public Safety, Terrence Raynor.
Good morning to our distinguished panel, County Executive George Latimer, Deputy County Executive Ken Jenkins, and fellow alumni from the 69th session of the Basic Recruit School, Chief Maturo. And of course, I want to thank the Police Academy staff and members of the 151st session of our Basic Recruit School. Due to an unfortunate scheduling conflict, Police Commissioner Thomas Gleason is unable to join us this morning. He did ask, however, that I extend a warm greeting to today's guests and honorees. Due to the ongoing pandemic's social distancing requirements, attendance at today's graduation ceremony is significantly limited. However, that does not diminish in any way the significance of this important milestone for our graduating class. And that is why today's ceremony is being streamed live for the family and friends of today's graduates to enjoy remotely. So with that, I'll just take a moment to acknowledge those who are unable to join us in the physical. Family and friends, I ask that you continue providing encouragement and support to our graduates. It is your strength and your sacrifice which provides comfort to these officers as they move forward in a career which oftentimes requires shift work, working weekends and holidays, and missing some key family gatherings. Graduates, today marks your official transition from civilian to law enforcement professional. Your path began with a competitive written exam, followed by a grueling physical agility test, and then that extensive, quite extensive background investigation that you all remember. All of that earned you the privilege of walking through the doors of this building and becoming a member of the 151st session of the Westchester Police Academy. Over the past 4 months, you've received classroom instruction as well as the practical application of the law, powers of arrest, defensive tactics, response to critical incidents, and a host of topics, including the importance of community engagement. I submit to you that the state of policing in our country today demands that you embrace the concept of police and community working together. I encourage you to engage your communities with humility and with respect. Treat people with fairness and empathy, no matter their race, religion, or socioeconomic status. Converse with others the way you would like your loved ones spoken to. The instruction you received gives you a foundation in which to build upon in order to be the guardian your community seeks. At times, your work will present challenges. However, I'm confident that the hard work you've put in, coupled with the incredible instruction you've received over the past 4 months, has prepared you with the knowledge and the skills needed to return to your respective jurisdictions and perform your duties intelligently and with the utmost respect. Ladies and gentlemen, as you leave this facility and all that it offers, your law enforcement career begins. It will be your actions and interactions that will determine how successful you are in this noble line of work. So on behalf of the administrative staff of the Westchester County Department of Public Safety, I wish you a safe, healthy, and productive law enforcement career. Your classmates, your instructors, your family, friends, and your community will be watching. Make us proud. Congratulations and Godspeed. Thank you. And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you the Chief Executive Officer of the County of Westchester, our very esteemed County Executive, George Latimer.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. I have heard people refer to, in different localities as well as in the county, the police department, in our case, the Department of Public Safety, but we know that this is not departments of a government. This is a family. And we've had a loss in our family, in the county police department. We've lost the wife of our Chief Inspector, Chris Calabrese, and at this very hour, she's being put to rest. So I'd like you all to join me in a moment of silent meditation and respect for her life and what she meant to Chris Calabrese, who means so much to all the rest of us. Please join me in a moment of silence. It is important that we recognize, as we talk about our responsibilities to the people that we serve, you as well as I, that we recognize that our families who are watching, unfortunately due to COVID not here present, love you very much, care about you, your parents, your siblings, your significant others, if you have children, that they all love you and they want you to be successful in moments like this, and you will lean on them as we all lean on the people that we love. And you have a responsibility to the people at large, and you have a responsibility to them. And when we lose someone, as Chris has just lost, we all grieve together. I want to thank Commissioner Gleason and Deputy Commissioner Rayner, Captain William McGinnis, Lieutenant Alongi, and all of the other staff members here for the outstanding work they do year after year to prepare young men and women like yourself to go out into the streets of Westchester County and any other locations and serve the people in what must be the most challenging job. They have a lifetime of experience that they share with you during this period of time, and then in the respective departments where you work, there are other men and women who have developed a lifetime experience which they will share with you. And day by day, as you grow from the basis of what you've learned and what you bring to the table, you'll be able to serve the people that you represent well, to the point where you will become the role models for other rookies when they join the force. And they'll look up to you, and they'll see in you what we see right now in the commissioner and the captains and the lieutenants and the sergeants who have done so many different things and done them so well. It is sobering to think about what we do for a living. It may be the single biggest decision other than who we decide to marry in our life. And The first job I ever had was a part-time job while I was in college, and I worked at a car dealership in Mount Vernon for a car dealership that no longer exists. The first full-time job I had followed that, and I was budget analyst for one of the colleges in the region. I was rather bad at that job. I was lucky that I went on to another job before I got fired from it. I hope the job I have now I am doing better than the one I did when I was budget analyst all those years ago. But there are jobs and there are callings. And what you have each decided individually to do by first applying and then taking an examination and then being selected and going through the rigors of the last few weeks, months, is to follow a calling, something that's inside of you. And yes, it's a job. You will be paid for it. You will accrue elements toward a pension and all of those things in life that may not mean much to you now, but will at some point in time when you're a little bit older. But it isn't everybody that can do what you're doing. In fact, it's the vast majority of us as civilians that cannot do what you can do, what you've been trained to do. Those of you that stood up and have already served in uniform defending the interests of our country have proven already that you have the discipline and the stamina and the physicality and the emotional and mental balance that it takes to do the work you have to do, because most of us won't have to face even a fraction of what you'll have to face. We as civilians, not just public officials, politicians, but everybody that you meet, we as civilians ask you to do things in your job that's fundamentally contradictory. We ask you to be tough, and at the same time, we ask you to be sensitive. We ask you to be thoughtful, but we ask you to be urgent in your actions, assessing a situation. We want you to protect us, but we want you to do it in a way that is invisible to us. We basically ask you to do the impossible. And in this moment of time, over the last year particularly, we have put a spotlight on asking people to do impossible things, surely to be second-guessed, if not by the politicians of the world, then by the press of the world, or by anybody that has access to a Twitter account or a Facebook account. And yet, in this climate, you have decided to move forward with this calling. I can't tell you how much I respect you. I suspect that almost every one of you is at least 40 years younger than I am, and yet I look up to you. I look up to you because you have been given power by the society to enforce the laws that we pass. You'll be dealing with some people who are not very good people, who mean to do others harm. And we have asked you, and you will be prepared to put yourself in between the rest of us and that harm. How many of us are ready to do that? Very few. What we hope we will do in your local governments, when you go back to the cities, the towns, and the villages, or if you're here in the County Department of Public Safety, we hope that we will provide you with the best of equipment, give you the best of ongoing training, give you the best of support. And don't be afraid to reach out for that support. Don't be ashamed or afraid to say you need to talk to somebody, need a little assistance, you need to talk through some things, need some help. There's nothing wrong with that. Because you're being asked to do things that no one else is being asked to do. We hopefully will stand behind you, even in this climate, as I have at the county level of government with Ken Jenkins as Deputy County Executive. We have stood behind this department. We have fully funded this department. We could always do better, but we fully funded this department. And we're here for these moments, the moments of graduations and the moments of promotions, because we respect the work that's being done by the police officers of this county. This is a graduation, and it's also a commencement. You've achieved something by going through your basic studies and to the point where you are now, just as was said a minute ago, you are now a fully confirmed member of law enforcement. So you've graduated. But you're also in a commencement. You're beginning something. And when you go out there to the streets of New Rochelle, to the villages of Hastings, to each of the different communities that you're tasked with, you will now begin the next level of your education. May God be with you in every one of those moments. May He protect you. May He be at your shoulder to help you through those moments where you do have to act with both thoughtfulness and urgency. And may the people that are watching, the people that love you, that know you as the human being you are, may they be there for you in every moment as you will be there for them. Thank you for taking on this massive task of becoming a police officer. You have the gratitude of those of us in the community at large.
Thank you, County Executive Latimer. I would now like to introduce Chief Anthony Maturo, Chief of Scarsdale Police Department, and Chiefs of the Westchester County, President of the Westchester County Chiefs of Police Association.
Good morning, everyone. County Executive Latimer, Deputy County Executive Jenkins, Deputy Commissioner Rayner, Academy staff, friends, family members joining us live. Most importantly, the graduating members of the 151st session of the Westchester County Academy Basic Recruit School. I'm delighted and honored to be able to address you on behalf of the Westchester County Chiefs of Police Association. Of all my duties as president of the County Chiefs, I consider this opportunity to speak to you today a privilege. Over the past 6 years, in speeches I've given or heard, the statement, it's a tough time to enter law enforcement, is inevitably mentioned. I've come to realize there is no easy time to become a police officer, but there is no more important time than right now. The staff here at the Police Academy are second to none throughout the state. Over the past 26 weeks, you have been provided with all of the tools, tactics, and knowledge you will require to serve your communities well. The result of their hard work is evident in preparing you for a long and successful career. I commend Lieutenant Alonji, his staff, and Commissioner Gleason for their unwavering support and commitment to professional law enforcement. There is another group of instructors I'd like to acknowledge today. The instructors that over the last 20-some-odd years have provided you with skills perhaps even more important. The skills of communication, understanding, selflessness, good judgment, compassion, and love. You may not have found yourself in the position of front-leading rest with these instructors, but their hard work, nevertheless, has produced the men and women in front of me today. You have now dedicated your lives to serving others. Their hard work has paid off, and you were obviously raised by some very special people. I would ask that we give them a quick round of applause. Today's the anniversary of the beginning of the miracle at Dunkirk. You may have seen the story recently. 71 years ago, over 300,000 soldiers would be rescued by ordinary civilians, by everyday people who risked themselves so that these same soldiers would have the opportunity to change the course of the war. As you return to your departments, know that the overwhelming number of ordinary civilians, everyday people in your communities, appreciate the work you do and will support you. Everyone else will be counting on you, more so, expecting that you will be there to solve any and all of their problems. I am confident that you will serve everyone fairly, and as chiefs and commissioners, we are confident that you will be the officers that will have the opportunity to change the course of law enforcement. As I started out, there is no easy time to become a police officer. The days ahead will be challenging, but as the challenges grow, so will the rewards. It's sad to think that so many people will never have this opportunity of being part of something much larger than themselves, and knowing that they actually made a difference in other people's lives and making their community safer and a better place to live. You should be proud of what you've accomplished so far. As you sit here today, right now, and when you go home and celebrate with your loved ones, who are just as proud of you, take a moment to truly absorb this feeling of pride you have today. When those challenging times come, and when your day doesn't go as well as you planned, force yourself to relive how you feel right now. You'll be able to press on. Know that your family, friends, and every member in law enforcement will be here to support you. So on behalf of your chiefs and commissioners, I would like to congratulate you, to thank you, and wish each of you a long, safe, and successful career. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. We've come to the part of the program that all the recruits have been waiting for. where we acknowledge each recruit and their completion of the 21-week academy program. These recruits have successfully completed a rigorous and difficult program of academics and physical challenges during their time here. I call upon the recruit training coordinator of the Westchester County Police Academy, Sergeant Michael Brankamp, for recognition of the graduates.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. From the Town of Bedford Police Department, Police Officer Dennis Mancia. From the Village of Hastings-on-Hudson Police Department, Police Officer Brandon King. From the Town of Mount Pleasant Police Department, Police Officer Jacqueline Briggs. From the City of Mount Vernon Police Department, Police Officer Caitlin Barrett. Police Officer Devin Batista. Police Officer William Draper. Police Officer Michael Nalbandian. Police Officer Brandon Rivera. Police Officer Andrew Spasta. Police Officer Christine Williams. From the City of New Rochelle Police Department, Police Officer Christopher Bonanno. Police Officer Jared Gramble. Police Officer Zaquan Grissett. Police Officer Annette LaFosse. Police Officer Daniel Logadisi. Police Officer Matthew O'Connor. Police Officer Harold Smith. Police Officer Joseph Vieira. From the City of Peekskill Police Department, Police Officer Guashan Lee. From the Village of Pelham Manor Police Department, Police Officer Frank Lynch. From the Putnam County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Sheriff Michael Gray. Deputy Sheriff Ashley Picaris. From From the Village of Scarsdale Police Department, Police Officer Christian Enriquez. From the City of Yonkers Police Department, Police Officer Francis Oscalillo. Police Officer Loe Awad. Police Officer Tyler Barrera. Police Officer Matthew Brown. Police Officer Nicholas Carrizo. Police Officer Sylvia Clayton. Police Officer Peter Denisenko. Police Officer Kevin Henry. Police Officer Thomas Keene. Police Officer Catherine Lara. Police Officer Joseph Pizzullo. Police Officer Joseph Rock. Police Officer Katrina Simos. That concludes our list of graduates. Although all of our recruits have worked very hard for the past 21 weeks, there are a few who have distinguished themselves in particular aspects of the training, for which they deserve to be recognized. The Physical Fitness Award. This award is presented to the recruit who displayed above-average effort and ability in physical training, as well as enthusiasm and professionalism in all required physical endeavors. Police Officer Joseph Vieira of the City of New Rochelle Police Department. The Esprit de Corps Award. This award is presented to the recruit who exhibited class spirit, leadership, and cooperation while in basic recruit school. This recruit helped to promote a sense of unity and accomplishment. It is presented on behalf of the Westchester County Chiefs of Police Association. It is awarded to Police Officer Devin Batista, City of Mount Vernon Police Department. The Firearms Award. This award is presented to the recruit who exhibited the best overall performance during firearms training. Police Officer Brandon Rivera, City of Mount Vernon Police Department. Highest Academic Average Award. This award is presented to the recruit who exhibited high academic achievement and with the best overall academic average, an outstanding 97.25%, Police Officer Annette LaFosse, City of New Rochelle Police Department. The Guidon Award. The guidon represents a unit, or in this case, Class 151. It symbolizes pride in that unit. The class guidon followed the recruits throughout their 21-week journey. This award is presented to the recruit who the instructors recognize as having a unique determination and instinct related to police training. This recruit embodies pride and professionalism in their effort. It's awarded to Police Officer Harold Smith, City of New Rochelle Police Department. Gary Stimolowski Best All-Around Award. This award is presented to the recruit who exhibited a high level of achievement in all aspects of recruit training. It focuses on the totality of performance that a recruit achieves in areas of academic average, physical agility, firearms performance, and overall attitude, appearance, attendance, and professional demeanor. It is awarded to Police Officer Caitlin Barrett, City of Mount Vernon Police Department. That concludes the awards. At this time, I would also like to recognize police officers Annette LaFosse, Joseph Vieira of the City of New Rochelle Police Department, Police Officer Katrina Simos, City of Yonkers Police Department, Police Officer Devin Batista, City of Mount Vernon Police Department, and Police Officer Brandon King, Village of Hastings-on-Hudson Police Department, for their efforts in the role as squad leader for the 151st Basic Recruits class, and Police Officer Caitlin Barrett for her efforts as the class platoon leader. It is appropriate, you can be seated, please. It is appropriate at this time to hear a few words from the 151st Basic Recruit class. I call upon the class spokesperson, Police Officer Brandon King, Village of Hastings-on-Hudson Police Department, to say a few words on behalf of the graduates.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brandon King of the Hastings-on-Hudson Police Department. On behalf of Class 151, welcome to the 151st Recruit Class Commencement Ceremony here at the Westchester County Police Academy. We thank County Executive George Latimer, Deputy County Executive Ken Jenkins, Commissioner Thomas Gleason, Deputy Commissioner Terrence Rayner, and Chief Andrew Maturo. Without you, none of our success would be possible. We thank you for your support. We would also like to thank the Westchester County Police Academy staff for their relentless dedication and phenomenal training. With each class, you have a special mission to take new recruits and turn them into police officers in just 21 weeks. From day one to today, you arrived here before us each morning and you left after us each evening. You worked diligently to ensure we received the best training. You challenged us much more than we were comfortable with and made us go beyond what we thought were our limits. You provided us with the tools that will help us when we must risk our lives and safety on behalf of those we have all sworn to protect. Your wealth of knowledge and experience that you have continuously shared with us will not be in vain. I'd like to take a moment to recognize Lieutenant Nicholas Solangi, Sergeant Michael Brankamp, Detective Peter Farrell, Detective Mark Moslik, Detective Anthony Del Priori, Police Officer Jason Payne, Police Officer Jeff Gibson, Police Officer David Hecker, Police Officer Michael Huffman, and Deputy Michael Varley. We thank each of you for never allowing any of us to give up on ourselves, to never give up on each other, and for teaching us that we are never out of the fight. To our family and friends who could not be here and are watching online, your support and sacrifices allowed us to follow our dreams that led us here today. Thank you all so much. We love you all. To the graduating members of Class 151, I want you all to know how grateful and honored I am to have been chosen by you to be the class speaker here today. Thank you all so much for being a part of this journey and for making this an incredible experience that I will never forget. On January 4th, 2021, 40 strangers, anxious because of the unknown, lined up outside this building. The only thing we did know was that we had a long 21 weeks ahead. We eventually passed through the front doors of the building to the instructor's commands and were told that the only people who walk through those front doors are police officers and day one recruits. That means when we leave here today, we will pass back out that front door for the first time as police officers. Unless you are recruit Denisenko, of course, who did that twice before today, and because of that, had to wear a giant exit sign around his neck for a week. Our first day did not end without setbacks. Unfortunately, all 40 of us did not make it through those front doors that day. Within just 10 minutes, 2 recruits found themselves in the back of ambulances. While one recruit had suffered from dehydration, another was throwing up because he had made the conscious decision to eat one too many bowls of Captain Crunch. While these recruits shall remain nameless, I can tell you that Recruit Williams and Recruit Smith set the tone for our class by being the first ones met with adversity. When they returned over the next few days, it was clear to us all that they were not going to let anything stop them from accomplishing their mission to become police officers. Over the next 21 weeks, while we each had personal goals, we quickly realized that our goals aligned with one another. Whether it was to improve on the Cooper test, perform better on the next scenario, or become more proficient at firearms, we helped one another at every turn. We learned how to work as a cohesive unit, and we leaned on one another when things got hard. We pushed each other to be better during physical training and defensive tactics. We learned how to think outside the box and to adapt to any situation that presented itself. We were taught to always have each other's backs. Speaking of having each other's backs, I commend recruits Matthew O'Connor and Devin Bautista for literally having a recruit's back when they both gave the Heimlich maneuver as the recruit choked on garlic bread in the break room. While I will not name drop this time around, you know who you are. Please do your department a favor and stay away from all types of bread when you get there. Truly, I am happy to call all 35 of you family, and that if you ever need anything, reach out because I got you. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge our class platoon leader, Caitlin Barrett. You led us from the beginning, and you were the perfect person for the job. You were innovative, patient, respectful, appreciative, and you always made sure to hold us accountable as a group. Those are qualities that all leaders must have. You have our deepest gratitude for your hard work and dedication. Again, to the class. At one point in this academy, we were asked to find our why. If most people's reaction is to run away from danger, why did we choose a profession that mandates running towards it? Why did you wake up every day and show up here ready to go? Why did you want to become a police officer? For me, it's because this is not a job, but a calling. Whatever your reason, do not forget your why. Do not forget what you have accomplished over the last 5 months. Do not forget why you chose this profession. Every day that you put on the uniform and go to work, remember why you dedicated your time and effort to this career. Lastly, do your job. That is a direct quote that we heard come out of our instructors' mouths so often. It encompasses everything that we must do as police officers. Take care of all your partners. Have your partners back. Check in on your fellow officers. Stay mentally and physically prepared to accomplish anything this career throws at you. Stay ready and stay resilient. One of the most profound human joys is to be part of something greater than yourself. With that said, my fellow police officers, we started this journey as strangers, and now we can call each other's brothers and sisters of law enforcement. Stay safe, and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Police Officer King. On behalf of the Police Academy, I thank the 151st Basic Recruit Class for your enthusiasm, cooperation, and dedication, which you exhibited over the past 21 weeks. Good luck to each of you as you graduate today. May you all have a safe and rewarding career, and may God bless you. I would like to leave you with a couple quotes. The first one is from Robert Peel. Remember that you always, the police are the people and the people are the police. Don't forget that you're part of the community that you work for. Raymond Chandler also said, which is a little bit different on the opposite side, down these mean streets a man must go who is not himself mean and who is neither tarnished nor afraid. And the final one is from President Ronald Reagan. Evil is powerless if the good are unafraid. So let's be safe out there and have a great career. Class 151, class attention. Recruit class 151 dismissed.
Class 151, dismissed! 151! 151! 151!